look, there's a lot that I've learned from him, but this is nearly at the top of the list of the things I admire about the President of the United States, is he will talk to anybody. Like, you know, when he was thinking about who to make his vice president, he was talking to the gardener at Mar-a-Lago. He told me that. And I said, well, sir, what did the gardener at Mar-a-Lago said this really matters to my life? But you know, when people say you shouldn't talk to this person, right? You shouldn't talk to Kim Jong-un of North Korea because that gives him something for nothing. No, I'm gonna have a conversation. We're gonna actually conduct diplomacy. If we have to use the military, he's obviously not afraid to do it when he feels like he needs to, but the willingness to just communicate and break down barriers is very important. This is, by the way, Megyn, one thing I would say about the Iranians that is just really weird to me, and I don't understand their system, and I frankly think that it makes diplomacy with them extraordinarily difficult, is the person who makes the decisions in Iran is the supreme leader, okay? The president, our sense is, doesn't have a lot of juice, doesn't really matter. The foreign minister seems to talk to the supreme leader, and that's mainly the person that we've communicated with, but it's a very weird country to conduct diplomacy with when you can't even talk to the person who's in charge of the country. That makes all of this much more complicated, and it makes the whole situation much more absurd. Like, he can pick up the phone and call Putin. He can pick up the phone and call Xi. Even countries that we have very hostile relations with, he can pick up the phone. You know, North Korea. He met the guy at the 38th parallel. It is bizarre that we can't just talk to the actual leadership of a country. It makes diplomacy very, very difficult.
Why are we letting 600,000 Chinese students into our universities? It was 300 and change. Laura Ingraham asked President Trump about this, and he said, oh, we need to do business with China. It seemed like some sort of a deal had been cut where we gave them a bone of allowing double their students. Nobody wants this.
You know, no, it's not. Look, the president's view is we don't want to create an unnecessarily antagonistic relationship with China. Like, there are some disagreements. There are some things where our interests collide, but we can protect our intellectual property in the president's view without creating an unnecessary conflict with the Chinese.
Every slot filled by one of these Chinese students is one lost by an American.
What the president is trying to do is, I think, create the situation where we can have good relations. Now, we're not radically, this has been misreported, I think, we're not like radically increasing the number of visas that we give to China. That's just not true. I've seen that reported. It's not true. What we are doing is trying to preserve a very delicate diplomatic balance. Like anything, there are risks and rewards and costs and benefits, but the president is trying to balance a very important relationship for the United States.
How about